We're back. We're back and better than ever. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, the Do Sports Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8, live on Hosanna Radio and Facebook Live on the Do Sports Show on Facebook. Let's get right into it. I got something else to talk about that that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Um, we have some stuff that was also disseminated through the Facebook comments on during the break. Pastor King also said we definitely got robbed. Probably talking about the pass interference at the end. That was a pass interference. There was another pass interference. I forgot what. I think it was early in the fourth quarter as well. That should have been called. That could have gave us a first down as well. Also, he said that they wanted a replay of Bills and Bengals, and I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're a conspiracy theorist and you look at it in a way of like things being scripted and whatnot, you're right, and not just being a conspiracy theorist, but just like looking at it as business wise as well is great for business. The rematch of Bills versus Bengals, and in that rematch, in my opinion, I'm going with the Bengals. I'm sorry. Like Bills is like, bruh, like Bills is not like everybody's. And this, I have a problem. And this is another thing I'm gonna get into before I get into what I was really gonna get into. Tony Romo. Tony Romo was getting on my nerves, man, on that game. The whole time he's calling Josh Allen Michael Jordan. He's saying, there he goes. Like he was amping Josh Allen up the whole game as if he wanted the Bills to win. You're calling the game. You can't call this is I understand if this was WQAM 560 and you have, all those guys who are rooting for the Dolphins because it's a Dolphins radio telecast. So when they're calling the game, they're calling because they're from Miami and they want Miami to win and whatnot. So they're going to have some enthusiasm for their team. So I'm listening to the show, and Tony Romo kept amping up Josh Allen, and I'm trying to ignore it. And I'm just like, bro, what? This is not a local channel. This is not local radio. This is a national CBS telecast. You are supposed to call the games as non-partially as possible, like impartial. Like you're supposed to be calling impartially. And I felt like he kept like, it's as if like we were doormats or something. He was like, well, here we go. It's starting. And he was like, he was waiting for the Bills to steamroll the Dolphins. And once the Dolphins continually come back, it dialed him back a little bit. But then once Josh Allen started getting better or started getting a touchdown and whatnot, then he's like, there he goes, Michael Jordan and this and that. And I'm like, what in the world? What's going on with Tony Romo? Like, what's up with this cat? Like, so when you listen to stuff like that, then you're thinking like, yo, this thing's rigged. Like, they want Bills to move on to the AFC Championship and whatnot. When you're listening to a national television broadcast and the color commentator is continually amping up the Bills quarterback, bro. That was annoying. And like that's just something I wanted to say. So when it comes to they want to replay the Bills and Bengals, when you hear a telecast like that, you start to think that way. You got to be impartial. You can't be amping up the opposing quarterback. Like, that was weird to me. King feel the same way. King said, Buddy had me heated. So, what I wanted to get into before that, sidebar right there was uh the Dolphins. Like, after everything that I brought up, right? I just brought up how many times did I bring up interception, sack, fumble, turnover, defensive touchdowns? I just brought up in one game a whole bunch of turnovers and defensive plays. If it wasn't for the defense that was making stops, we wouldn't even been in the game. And today, around 3 hours ago, they fired Josh Boyer, the defensive coordinator. You fired Josh Boyer and all the other defensive assistants. And I I have a problem. And this is the problem I have, right? It's like the national media, in a way, I'm not going to say national media. Let's say the Dolphins. Like, I ain't going to lie, a lot of people in Miami did not like Josh Boyer. Because during the season, they felt like there was a lot of big plays that was given up and stuff like that. But in my opinion, when you're playing multiple good quarterbacks, we played Aaron Rodgers, we played Josh Allen twice, we played the Los Angeles Chargers. We played multiple quarterbacks, elite quarterbacks. How do you expect us to shut these players down? Like, quarterbacks don't get shut down anymore in this league, man. Offenses doesn't get shut down like that in the league like that, bro. Like, majority of teams has a quarterback that will light you up. And in my opinion, I love Josh Boyer as a defensive coordinator. We had some bad defenses the last couple of years, bro. But when Josh Boyer and Brian Flores and them came into the building, they solidified the defense. Yeah, there was some plays and some passes that was given up and whatnot. But for the most part, we were sacking quarterbacks. For the most part, we were getting interceptions. For the most part, we were getting pass breakups. That is what you need in a defense. And I'm not going to lie to you. There was a play. This might be the play that fired Josh Boyer. I know what play that was. That play was Chargers game. Sunday night or Monday night, one of them. It was a primetime game against the Chargers. I think it was Sunday Night Football. And you got the Chargers, right? The Chargers, Justin Herbert, it was 3rd and 18, right? It was 3rd and 18, and they were in line for a field goal, but instead, right? And if they had got the first down, it was going to be 1st and goal. We sacked the quarterback. We sacked Justin Herbert. It went down to 3rd and 18, 3rd and 19. I promise you, I feel like this is the play that fired Josh Boyer. And instead of continually sacking Josh Herbert, for some reason, that same play, Josh Boyer, he played everybody back. He played everybody back. And it was nobody going for the quarterback. It was only the defensive line. And because he did that, because he didn't blitz that 3rd and 19 or whatever, Justin Herbert, he completed the 3rd and 18 and converted for a 1st and goal. And everybody like, what the heck, bro? Why you didn't blitz? Why did you go all the way back? I'm talking about the corners. I'm talking about the safeties. They all played back, 3rd and 18. And Justin Herbert was just back there and got the 1st down, 1st and goal. And then after that, they converted for a touchdown. Right? And it was late in the game, too. And everybody was like, why didn't he blitz? Why did you play so back in 3rd and 19 and he converted the 1st down? And I feel like on national television, I feel like that play, like people did not forget about that play. Right? And in my opinion, I didn't forget about that play. But what I did say was, okay, there's a chance he might get fired. But my thing was like, throughout the next couple of games, the Jets game, when you shut down Flacco to get us a playoff win, and then on top of that, the playoff game when you sacked Josh Allen multiple times, picked him off twice, sacked him, fumble, and got a touchdown. My mindset was like, man, you playing good like this. You called a great game in the playoffs. You redeem yourself. I felt like my thing is like people like, dude, like because of the national media, because of the pressure from upstairs, coaches are not allowed to grow, yo. Coaches are not allowed to recover from their mistakes. What is up with that? It's a microwave. It's a microwavable atmosphere nowadays, bro. We are making decisions off of reactions, making decisions off of like. You can't blame Josh Boyer for all them losses. Your quarterbacks were hurt. And I just felt like it was a bad move. Pastor King said unless they're going for Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith is 60-something years, about to be 60. His career is pretty much over. Like, you got picked up as the head coach for Houston. You got fired. Now you're going to get paid for another 2-3 years. That's a retirement right there. It's over with. I don't feel like, he should, it should be Lovie Smith. I feel like Josh Boyer earned himself another year. We had so many. Let me read this story real quick on thefinsider.com, which states, Dolphins fired George Boyer and other defensive assistants. When the Miami Dolphins hired Mike McDaniel last year to serve as their new head coach, many of the defensive assistants, including defensive coordinator Josh Boyer, were returned as a way to keep some stability in a defense that rounded into form during the 2021 season. After the 2022 season, the strengths that were expected from the defense did not materialize during the season. Now Mike McDaniel was looking to make changes to the defense side of the ball. On Thursday, the Dolphins announced that the team had relieved Boyer of his duties as the team's defensive coordinator. They also fired safeties Steve Gregory, outside linebackers coach Ty McKenzie, and assistant linebackers coach Steve France. I'm grateful for Josh's contributions this year and throughout his tenure with the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel said, according to the Dolphins, the defense made strides through the season, so coming to this decision was not easy. But ultimately, I feel like it is the best long-term interest of the Miami Dolphins and the continued growth of our players and team. Boyer joined the Dolphins in 2019 as the team's defensive pass coordinator and cornerbacks coach. He was promoted to defensive coordinator in 2020. He previously served as a defensive assistant, defensive backs coach, and cornerbacks coach with the New England Patriots from 2006 through 2018, moving to Miami when the team hired Brian Flores from the Patriots to be the team's head coach. Flores was fired after the 2021 season. The Dolphins will now begin a search for their new defensive coordinator. Miami finished the 2022 season ranked 19th overall defense, allowing 337 yards per game, fourth in rush defense. That's the key right there, man. Bro, I'm going to stop this right here. I'm going to pause this story real quick. Before Brian Flores, people was running up the gut with us, man. I'm talking about down the middle, game after game. When Brian Flores and Josh Boyer and them came into the fold, they solidified the middle of the defense. That is one of the reasons why we stayed in the game most of the season, because we stopped the middle of the line of scrimmage. We stopped the run down the middle. If you had to run sideline to sideline. You wasn't going to run down the middle on us. And we was fourth in rush defense, giving up 103 yards per game. Most of the top runners that played against the Dolphins didn't have a good game. That is a testament of a good defense, man. Not just, the pass. It's the run, the running, the rush defense. And that was fourth. They were top 5 rush defense. In my opinion, the reason why we was not playing so well against the pass, because everybody was hurt. We always had corners hurt. We had multiple players that were out that never came to play. I mean, give the man a break. We continue the story. They were fourth in rush defense, giving up 103 yards per game, 27 in the pass defense, allowing 238 yards per game, 24th in scoring defense, giving up 23.4 points per game. The Dolphins' defense was designed to pressure opposing quarterbacks through confusing fronts, mismatches, blitzes, but only recorded 40 sacks in the season, tied for 14th in the league. That's top 15 in the league, man. 14th in the league. What do you want a man to do? You want to be top 10? Like, I don't get it. 14th in the league in sacks. That's really good. That's the upper half of the league. People don't get chances to grow, in my opinion. Like, what is going on? And that's, in my opinion, I felt like there was a bad move, man. This was a bad move. Because I seen players got better. Defensive players got better throughout the season, man. And we had multiple cornerbacks that went down. And these cornerbacks that came to step up were undrafted. And they were locking dudes up. And you can see in the in the national broadcast, every time I'm watching the Dolphins game, they say, this player, he's undrafted cornerback, this and that, defensive back. He's done pretty well. And one thing about the Dolphins, we play a blitz team. We zero blitz team. Them corners gonna be on the island, man. We don't give you no help. You out there one-on-one, mano y mano with the receivers. And they did pretty good. And, you had Noah Ignagwa, number 9. He was coming along. You had, who else? You had, Byron Jones never played. You had Crossan, number 27. He came in and balled out. You had Bethel, number 20. He came in and balled out. Nick Needham got hurt. You got Kohu Kadar. He came in and balled out. All these young players came in and played well, man. They didn't come in and act like they was like fish out of the water. They came in and played well. Why is that? There's good coaching. You got to give Josh Boyer credit for that. And you fired him, man. You fired him, man. Mm-hmm. I disagree. I disagree. And you know what? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. What can I say? Now, if you go ahead and the way the defense is built, you have to hire somebody with the same formation, with the same scheme. In my opinion, you go ahead. If my pick for the next defensive coordinator would be Vic Fangio, the former Denver Broncos head coach and the former Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator before he got hired as the Denver's head coach. Now he eventually got fired, and now that you're looking at it, you probably should have never fired him because now they fired the head coach you hired after him didn't even last season. But Vic Fangio, man, get him in the building. He would work wonders with this defense, man. Work wonders with this defense. And man, like people can't grow. I don't understand this, man. I don't understand that. And you know, we're gonna get right into it. You know, a lot of people been you know, talking about Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. And Tom Brady, man, he lost to the Dallas Cowboys, right? And people saying, is he gonna retire or is he gonna come back? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. He ain't gonna. I don't think he's gonna retire. I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he's coming back. I mean, you retired last year. You unretired, and that cost you your marriage. From outside looking at it, looked like it cost you your marriage. So my thing is like, if you're gonna do something that drastically affected your home life in terms of your marriage, that means that you're not gonna. In my opinion, you end up in a divorce for coming back to playing football. You're not gonna end up in a divorce for only coming back for one season. That's just my opinion, because clearly it looks like it affected your home life, and by you making that decision, that shows that, listen, I'm really serious about continually playing football. So in my opinion, I don't feel like he's gonna quit. I feel like he probably got another year or two in him. And especially after this season, I feel like he's not gonna he's not gonna go out with this looking like this. I feel like he's not gonna go out, with that loss, or that team, it wasn't a good team from the beginning. And in my opinion, I felt like he came back he had 1 year left on the contract. He said, man, I'm going to just play this year. Whatever happens, happens. We win, we lose. The only way I'm going to come back to Tampa if we win the Super Bowl again. If we don't win the Super Bowl, I'll finish my contract. I signed a contract where I can't get franchise tag, when I can have an opportunity to be a free agent once again. And now he has opportunity to be a free agent once again. Last time he had opportunity to be a free agent, he chose Tampa Bay. At the time, Tampa Bay had a really good team, a very talented team, which had a potential with just him to be a Super Bowl winning team. And guess what? He went to the team and ended up winning the Super Bowl. So now he's going to do the same thing. He's going to become a free agent and look at his options and see, what team is a formidable team for him to make another run to the Super Bowl. Now, in my opinion, the teams that I feel like could he could possibly go and make a immediate run would be the Dolphins, but that's not going to happen because the Dolphins just said that they're going to roll with Tua, so that's not going to happen. The Jets, oh my God, the Jets has a really good team. The Jets have a great roster, but I don't feel like he's going to go to the Jets and do that to Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft is his homeboy. I don't think he's going to do that. The next team I feel like he could possibly come back and change team to play for. He's going back to the Patriots. But would he want to go back and play with Bill Belichick? You know what I'm saying? Robert Kraft is his boy. Belichick's not his boy. You know what I'm saying? And, they both have their own egos, So that's another option. But in my opinion, if I had to guess where he would go, I feel like he's going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, I feel like he's going to the Las Vegas Raiders. And the reason why I feel like he's going to the Las Vegas Raiders is because, you got Josh McDaniel over there, and that was his longtime offensive coordinator for years upon years upon years. They won Super Bowls together, and he knows the offense. So it's not an offense that he has to go and relearn. You get what I'm saying? And I just feel like you go to Las Vegas, you already know the offense. You got Devontae Adams and whatnot. I feel like it's a match made in heaven, man. You go to Las Vegas. That's the only other logical. I also see he could possibly go to Tennessee, but you ain't finna go to Tennessee and take my dog's job. Nah. Tannehill, my dog. No, we ain't finna do that. But I'm just saying that could be a possibility, knowing that the head coach of Tennessee Titans, was his teammate and all. But nah, bro, you ain't finna go over there and take my dog's job. Hell nah. My dog Tannehill, man, he's gonna be back and better than ever next year. So, in my opinion, I feel like Tom Brady will play for Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders next season. You can book it here on the Do Sports Show on Hosanna Radio and on Facebook Live, Do Sports Show on Facebook. Now, last week we had some games. Seahawks versus San Francisco, man. Brock Purdy. I said this a couple shows ago. I said Brock Purdy is the new franchise quarterback for San Francisco 49ers. I said that. I called it. Now look, the man is undefeated. 4-0 in the regular season and a playoff win. The man just started doing this thing. He already got a playoff win, man. It's taking Justin Herbert 3 years to get a playoff win. He still ain't got a playoff win. He got 3 years in. And everybody's anointing him as like the next Dan Marino. And shouts out to Geno Smith, man. Geno Smith's famous, he's actually went to court and actually put his rights behind this term or whatever. He said, man, they wrote me off. I did it right back. Geno smart, man. But he's from Florida. Florida's we got some penmanship, man. Everybody from Florida at one point in time wanted to be a rapper. Mitch, am I lying? What? You didn't want to be a rapper back in the day?
Yeah, when I was small.
Man, come on, man. I wanted to be a rapper. Man, I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be a Pharrell back in the day. I wanted to be a producer. I was like, man, I'm going to be a producer, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you used to be in the room and you just making raps and yeah. My name is Alvin. Yeah. And yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody wanted to be a rapper back in the day, man. So I'm not knowing him. So he from Florida, right? So everybody from Florida wanted to be a rapper back in the days, man. So shouts out to Gino. He balled out, man. He balled out this year. And he said, man, they wrote me off. They wrote me off, but I didn't write back. That's all because he's from Florida, man. To have the wherewithal to think of that on national television while they speaking to you, asking you about your performance. Come on, man. You're a Florida boy. Only Florida boys can think that fly at that current moment. Shouts out to my boy August for tuning in on the Facebook Live show on Facebook. Do sports show. But yeah, so big ups to Geno Smith, man. 4,200 yards passing. 4,300 yards passing, close to 4,300 yards. He broke Russell Wilson's record for passing yards. This man won the Super Bowl for Seattle. And in one season, Geno Smith broke his passing yards record. How is that? And then he had 30 touchdowns. Man, listen, I was watching that game with Seattle. Geno was going back and forth with San Francisco. What happened in that game was an unfortunate situation when Geno was driving down and one of the defenders stripped, I think it was Bosa, stripped his hand and ended a fumble with a turnover. That flipped the game. Once that happened, to flip the game. Because believe it or not, Geno was driving down to score again. I'm not going to lie to you. I watched that game, and what that showed me, Geno is not, this year was no fluke with Geno. He could play. And one thing I respect about Geno, he said, all right, I'm finna vibe. I'm finna get these backup checks. I'm going to stay behind the scenes for about 8 years. When I get my opportunity, I'm going to ball out. But right now, we just going to chill. We just going to get these backup checks, man. I'm finna get these checks, man. And then when my opportunity come up, guess what? I'm going to let them boys know that y'all forgot about me from West Virginia. Y'all forgot about Geno from West Virginia. What? Geno was that dude in West Virginia, man. Geno was a Heisman candidate in West Virginia. Y'all forgot about that? Come on, man. I remember that. The only reason why his career didn't end up what it was, because when he went to the Jets, he started his first rookie year. His second year, y'all don't remember, he got punched in the locker room and his jaw got broke. And he was out for the year. After that, they just went to another route. And after that, he was back ever since. But besides that, who knows? Geno probably would have balled out back then. So, but anyways, San Francisco, they came out and won 41-23, man. Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy. He's the next Tom Brady, in my opinion, man. Mr. Irrelevant. Not irrelevant at all. That's what they always say on the broadcast. Then you got, okay, see now, we're going to get into this right here. Chargers versus Jaguars. Shouts out to Duval! Duval! Shouts out, man. Hey, they did their thing, man. They did their thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a problem with this, though. The Chargers, right? Justin Herbert. You up like 27 zip after the first half. Now, granted, in the first half, this is another problem I have. This is the same Josh Boren situation, right? Now, in the first half, you have the Chargers head coach, right? I'm not going to mess up on his name. Brandon Staley. He calls the plays. He calls the plays for the Los Angeles Chargers, right? Now, you trying to tell me trying to tell me, as a defense, you got you created 4 interceptions, man, in the first half. 4 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half. Now, you come into the second half up 27-zip. As an offense, you're supposed to score more points, man. You only scored 3 points in the second half. 3 points in the second half. And everybody's calling him Brandon Staley's head. Brandon Staley, his defense got 4 interceptions. That's not on him. But for some reason, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, the Colin Cowherds of the world, everybody wants Brandon Staley fired. Why? Oh, because Sean Payton could take the head coaching job. Man, no, bro. I don't like that, bro. Because the man ain't do nothing to lose his job. Last year, they played all the way to the last game of the season against the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Vegas Raiders beat them in the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And it was winning it. It was a win-in game, and the Las Vegas Raiders won that game, went to the playoffs, and eliminated them from playoff contention. Okay, my mindset is like this: as an owner, as a general manager, you was in the conversation. You made the headline. You made, at the end of the day, all eye was on your team, your franchise, right? Even though you didn't make the playoffs, but at the end of the day, as a businessman, you're happy that the head coach generated eyeballs, right? Generated views towards your franchise. Then the next season, you went and garnered a 10-7 season and made the playoffs. So my mind says, looking at that, you've been a head coach for 2 years. The first year, you almost made the playoffs. You made it to the last game where it was an elimination game, right? Then the next year, right, you made the playoffs. What does that show? That show every year is an improvement, man. Why am I firing the head coach when he shows improvement every year? All because you have Sean Payton, who was with the Saints, and Drew Brees retired, and you didn't want to end up with a bad team. You didn't want the team to mess up your record, your career record, so you want to retire after he left, right? Instead of sticking it through. If you still wanted to be a head coach, why did you leave New Orleans? You should have stayed in New Orleans. Do what you had to do to get a quarterback or whatever, and get back with New Orleans. You retire 1 year. After 1 year, I want to come back. You should have stayed with New Orleans. Now you're out here trying to get other people's jobs. He tried to get, everybody wanted him to gun for Los Angeles Chargers job, and also the Dallas Cowboys job, right? Now, let me finish with this game. Chargers had no business losing this game. Shouts out to Duval. Shouts out to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Doug Peterson should have never lost his job in Philadelphia. That clearly shows it. He should have never lost his job in Philadelphia. Right? Now, he lost his job. He goes to Jacksonville in 1 season. Turns the team around, brings them to the playoffs, and won the playoff game. What does that tell you? Doug Peterson should have never lost his job. Now, shouts out to Trevor Lawrence, who came back second half and threw who brought them back to win 31-0. That was just a Super Bowl winning head coach against a head coach with 2 years worth of experience. that knew how to out-scheme and out-coach somebody. In due time, Brandon Staley will learn. I'm pretty sure Brandon Staley will learn from this already. That was all that was. It was just experience versus inexperience, and experience won. That was all that was. And I'm happy that the Los Angeles Chargers organization see and didn't listen to the media and just said, you know what? It was the offense. You know what? I'm sorry, Lombardi, you're going to have to go. The offensive coordinator, you got fired. And the quarterback coach, you got fired. You're going to have to go. Because there's no way you should only score 3 points in the second half of the playoff game when we was up 27-0. There's no way you only scored 3 points in the second half. That's the money time. That's game time. That's winning time. So they had to go. I'm happy that they did not fire Brandon Staley to appease his national media, to appease the people that wanted Sean Payton to take his job. I'm happy. Right? Now, here's another franchise that the national media, that everybody wants Sean Payton to end up coaching, the Dallas Cowboys. Right? So, the Dallas Cowboys, right, was under some immense pressure. Right? You had Mike McCarthy, who, for some reason, the man's a Super Bowl winning head coach. He won a Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers. Has Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl since Mike McCarthy has been gone, Mitch? Mitch says no, right? So now, Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Since you fired Mike McCarthy, has Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl? No. Now, he gives this job, and the minute he gives his job, they say he don't deserve the job. Do you know how that feels? How does it feel? You get the job, and everybody and their mama not happy you get the job. Everybody and their mama not happy you get the job. Now, you go, okay, you didn't want to, you made it to the playoffs, you didn't want to playoff game. Cool. Now the pressure's on you. But for some reason, for somebody who has a Super Bowl ring, who won 12 games the first year, won 12 games the second year, right? Now all of a sudden, he could potentially get fired if he loses a playoff game. Somebody who went 12 wins 2 years in a row with his team has a potential to get fired. Why is that? All because the national media wants to curtail their narrative on somebody's job. So now, Dallas Cowboys, they go ahead and everybody and their mama pick Tom Brady to be the Dallas Cowboys. You got a team who is 8-9, barely made the playoffs. The only reason why they made the playoffs is because their division sucks. So they won the division, and they ended up with a home game, and you all picked them to beat the Dallas Cowboys. The disrespect. And they go in and beat Tampa Bay soundly 31-14. Now, guess what? You won a playoff game. They haven't won that in a while. Now, all of a sudden, the naysayers, the Sean Payton, people that wanted Sean Payton, now people are like, damn, Brandon Staley's not going to get fired. Mike McCarthy just won a playoff game. Sean Payton can't get his job either. Now, I'm stuck with either choosing a broken Russell Wilson in Denver or all these other teams that has no head coach with no quarterback. If you're really that dude, if you're really that coach, go to Houston. Houston, in my opinion, if you're really that coach, go to Houston. Houston has the number 2 overall pick. And they already got a good quarterback over there, in my opinion. People sleep. People sleep on what's the name? Davis Mills. Davis Mills is a good quarterback. He just need an offensive coach that could put him in the right direction. Y'all sleep on Davis Mills. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm looking at Houston. But the first thing I'm going to say is Houston, right? Houston, you're going to have to let go of your general manager. And I'm going to bring in my own general manager, right? That would be my contingency. You're going to have to let go of Nick Caserio and let me bring in my own guy. Let me be in charge of personnel moves, and I'll take the Houston job. I have the number 2 overall pick. I can get the best quarterback on the board, and then I can also have this quarterback that's already there, right? And possibly make him a good player, and I can have an all-star, a rookie quarterback behind me. He can learn and develop. That's a great situation. Why are people not looking at Houston? Like, if you're really smart, I mean, I'm not saying you're not smart, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, in life, you got to put in the work, man. Sometimes you can't just get into a situation and have a situation that's ready-made. There's some situations you got to put in the work. And I feel like if you went into Houston and actually put in the work, because you're a good head coach and a good offensive head coach, I feel like you can turn Houston into a winner. You have high draft picks already, right? And in my opinion, you have multiple draft picks from the Deshaun Watson trade. That is a perfect situation to start over. But for some reason, I don't know why the national media, the people in his camp or whatnot, are not putting or directing that towards him. And I hope they make him see that, because gunning for other people's jobs is not cool, in my opinion. And then the other game that was played was the Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. Bengals beat the Baltimore Ravens 24-17. Shouts out to the New York Giants. I love my boy Kirk Cousins, but he lost. And for some reason, now, what everybody said he was, now everybody's going to ride this man for another year. But my dog Kirk Cousins is going to be back next year. He's going to ball out. So shouts out to the New York Giants. Shouts out to Daniel Jones. He balled out 31-24. The playoff games we have this weekend. Excuse me. We have Jaguars versus the Chiefs. I'm going with Duval. I'm going for the upset. New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not going to lie to you, man. You know, that's a pick. I'm not taking the side. I'm just going to watch that game. I like both teams. Bengals versus Bills. I'm going with the Bengals, man. Bills suspect, bruh. We almost beat you with a third-string quarterback. If Tua was playing, you would have lost. I'm going with the Bengals. And Cowboys versus San Francisco. Y'all need to stop trying my dog Mike McCarthy, man. Because of that, because y'all trying Mike McCarthy, I'm going with Mike McCarthy. I'm going with the supposed upset Cowboys beating the 49ers, man. I'm going to see y'all next week, man. This is Deuce Sports Show. Thank you for tuning in on the Deuce Sports Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 on Hosanna Radio and on Facebook Live on the Deuce Sports page on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in to the Deuce Sports Show. My name is Albert. I'll see you next week. I'm out.